Oh, I'm saying your birthday Tuesday, your birthday Monday. You ain't.
You getting old as shit.
You
man.
ain't doing nothing. Is this 50?
You old, man. I just told my daughter, I'm not feeling it. I mean, it's Monday. She said, what you doing on your birthday? I said, I ain't doing nothing. I'm going out of town, though, next week.
That's gonna be a problem this time.
You going out of town again?
I'm going to a route.
All right, so I'm gonna start with you.
Don't get
How old
lost,
are you on
man.
your birthday?
52? 51?
51.
What's your first memory in Golden?
My first memory? Catching the bus up Georgia Avenue to see a band called the Pump Blenders with my man Fat Cat, Dwayne Farwell.
He was in the Pump Blenders?
No, he went up there with him.
Oh, with him. Oh, I was about to say.
Get on the bus and we catch whatever bus took you up from Trinidad up Georgia Avenue to Emory Heights.
How old was
At least 13, 14.
Was you playing in the band?
Mm-mm. Playing drums, but I wasn't playing in a band.
Yeah. What about you, Steve?
You know, I'm a VA dude, so Pump Blenders, I ain't going back there.
I ain't know him either.
No, but it was Junkyard coming out of Virginia to Martin Luther King Pop, probably back in the early 80s. I was the same age, probably about 12 or 13 or something like that, 14. But it was definitely, it was Junkyard first.
And they was kids too back then, right?
No, not really. No, they was
Buzz is my age.
52.
Yeah,
53.
Buzz my age.
So y'all telling everybody's age on the jump.
Right.
The rest of the band might
In
be.
the 80s, most of y'all was young, just starting out with the music, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about starting the music, nothing. I was just chilling.
That's you.
Yeah, at
What
all.
about you, John? You coming from a promoter, businessman aspect of it. What's your first memory to go with?
No, I was actually in the band.
No,
Yeah, I actually was in the band.
He was on the one mic. I can't believe it neither.
Yeah, I was. My experience was both sides. I was. My grandparents lived uptown on Madison Street, so we used to see the bands across the street at Emory. We used to go down by Northwest Gardens, and then up on 14th Street, up on Irving Street. Bands used to always play outside up against the wall. All the small bands. Mass was probably the biggest band uptown at the time. And then, just being over in Southeast, it was all Essence. I think me and Floyd was talking the other day, and he was talking about how great funk was back then as on the one. Mm-hmm. And I was saying that by the time Benny got there, I just fell in love with the whole thing that Benny was doing, his style, and so when I started, talking in the band and all that, that was,
How old was you when you first started going out to see him?
11, 12. The playground up on 14th and Irving.
Go ahead.
When we started the band, some dudes that y'all probably know, Jock, my man Lil Mike, that be down Cheers with me now, and Heartbeat. All of us was together back then, and we was like 13, 14 years old.
Man, that was crazy that them two was in the same. Benny and Funk, they styles was absolutely different, completely different. And Benny had his people that fuck with him, Funk had his people that fuck with him.
Same time on the stage?
Same time. Well, but they split the songs. Benny would do the What's That Fuss, and then Funk would do Roll Call. They was a tag team for your ass. Man. And I don't know. Man, I don't know if that thing has been copied. Them two Now, I was a funk guy. I was like, to me, this guy's gift of gab was unbelievable. Like, he would just say something, and you would push rewind, and did you hear what he said? Push rewind again. Benny, to me, was, what's the word I'm looking for? Structure. Yeah, he was real structured. Benny gonna say the exact same thing, the exact same way. What's that fuss? You know what I mean? Funk was coming up with it off the top. I mean, he was early Funk was, I don't know if I've ever heard anything better than that.
Was you a fan of Go-Go first, or was you in Go-Go first?
I never even heard. So when I was at Duke Ellington, I was a little classical saxophone playing dude, penny loafers,
ballet, ballet,
and Bobby Smoot. I was a horn player.
Ballet.
Smoot come and say, "Yo, you want? Man, we got a go-go band, man. You want to play?" I'm like, "What's?" Yeah, he says, "What's go-go?" I was like, "What's that?" Now keep in mind, I'm probably 5 years ahead of y'all on that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I might have been 14, somewhere in that ballpark. But go-go, this is still 79 maybe. You know what I mean? Like, go-go only might have started 76, somewhere in that ballpark. So what's go-go ain't, you know, like, what's that?
Right.
But, man, it was the craziest thing because if there's ever a place to go, it was Chan's band. I mean, they was copying Red Essence, everything. Like, when Foots got a white drum set, Troy made his drum set white. Foots got a ghost pedal, he got the ghost pedal. Everything. They painted, Red Essence painted their speakers red, Chance painted their speakers. I mean, everything.
Wow.
Everything.
You remember your first show?
With, nah, I don't. Nah, I don't. That whole Chance thing is a blur for me. Like,
you know, Steve?
I remember the first time I sang, with a Dynasty band. It's a long time ago. Their singer didn't come. And my man was like, "Hey man, let my man sing." He was like, "Nah, man, I don't know Slim." And I was laughing. I'm like, "Man, I ain't tripping." He like, "Man, come on, man, let my man sing. I'm telling you." So I said, "Well, look, what singer didn't come?" He said, "The female didn't come. The dude ain't here either." So I said, "Well, what do they usually sing?" He said, "They sing fluentry, say yes. They sing." I said, "All right, well, let me sing that joint." He was like, "Well, if you get up there and sound crazy, now you gonna make yourself look crazy. That's on you." That was Dave. Yeah, I started singing and joint, and he stopped and was like, hold up. Started over, man, dude. So it was good response from the prep. But me at the time, I just did it just to do it.
What was your background before Go-Go then, if you just came happenstance?
No background. No, I didn't do anything. No, just walking around singing.
Man, that's funny.
Just walking around singing. No schooling, no Duke Ellington, no church choir.
No church choir?
Nah, no nothing. Seriously, like some old cats. Hey man, sing this part right here. Sitting in the park. Okay. Waiting for you. All right, that was right. Oh yeah, that's what's up, man. All right, then. Nothing. So when he said sing, I'm like, so I sang, and they like, "Oh, we want you to be in a band." I'm like, "Oh no, I ain't doing that. I'm chilling. I don't want to be in a band." But then eventually, I think I did something with Y2K, Bill, and Safari Steakhouse. What was his name? The singer. My man, Luther.
Oh man,
yeah,
Luther. Man, Luther.
Took me back to Luther, man. Luther was their singer, and Bill, I came in and sang for him one day. He was like, "Man, look, come to a practice," and I said, "All right, cool." So I came to a practice, and when I showed up at the practice, Luther said, "Who is he? Why is he here?" And I was like,
"That's Luther."
"Nah, I'm just here." And Bill was like, "Well, nah, he, young dude, he talented dude, he went, well, I'm out. Let him sing the songs then. I'm not playing, man." He rolled out. I was like, hold on, I can't. And Bill was like, man, learn these 5 songs in 2 days. I was like, oh man, he set me up for this joint. But it was just experience, man. It was all right, but I always loved the drive of the music though. The beat, it got me. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I liked. I wasn't really a rap dude. I just liked go-go and R&B. So finding a way you can mix your R&B with this beat right here was everything to me. I'm like, hey, let's get it. I loved it. So.
What about you, Mick? You remember your first show?
Nah, actually.
Or one of the first shows?
My first show with it might have been a Bus Stop reality band. And shit was Spring.
Hold on.
Played at the bus stop?
That's what the club.
The club was called.
I was like, oh, okay, the club was called
Right
Bus
now
Stop.
it's the Subways. The Silver Spring Subways right there.
Oh wow.
So the bus area, so they just called it the Bus Stop.
And tell them how Chance came in there and bust y'all ass.
Reality band.
And then,
See all that
and then
shit we
Chance
talking
came
right
in there and we bust their ass and
don't
stole
even
the
remember
equipment and
Chance.
walked out.
That was Ray Essence, though. You keep saying that. That was Ray Essence.
Nah,
Lil
it's
Daryl
Chance.
Snip. Nah, man, with Ray Essence up there.
Maybe
Lil
a lot
Daryl
of people stole y'all shit. I'm
Nah.
saying we came in there, stole y'all, bust y'all ass, and stole y'all
I
shit.
know my man Fat Cat wasn't going like that. He wasn't
Yeah,
gonna let
him and
nobody
Donnie,
take.
Donnie was fighting every.
Yeah, they ain't
every
gonna let
time we
nobody
played
just
every
take
weekend,
their
Donnie
stuff.
had a
Right.
fight with somebody, whatever that area was up there in Maryland. They had a fight. We did a lot of shows out all the way out Gaithersburg.
Let me ask you a question then. What's the biggest difference in the approach between your early shows and your shows now? People call you and consider you a legend, rightfully so. I mean, what's your mental process, and all of y'all, what's the mental process? Is there a difference between early on, maybe you was nervous, now it's routine?
It's funny you say that. I still get nervous when there's a big crowd. So I mean, I think more back then. I was a young drinker at a young age. So, you know what I'm saying? They always say, how is he gonna play? They had to put me behind the Congo, and after the show got started, I guess I would come down, and I would be, all right. But I get nervous now. I was just telling somebody the other day, I did 4 shows with Raheem Vaughn down at Constitution Hall. He was opening up for Jill Scott. So now I'm home. We hit. So I'm like, man, I ain't never played in front of this crowd. You know what I'm saying? Jill Scott crowd. Not knowing it. Jerry Vines. Jerry had G come do a set. It was like 4 days in a row. G did one. Funk wanted too much money. Jerry wasn't gonna pay Funk. Benny, Bed, and G. But the first joint G did. G took me straight to the bar because I was telling him, I ain't never played. Like, you gonna be all right, let's go get a drink. Because at the same time, it's so funny, they was talking about G had killed, on The Wire. So I never watched The Wire. So I had to go watch the reruns to see, how they showed the next day. I went home to see what they was talking about. He killed Memphis, man. What? So I had the next day they had the same conversation. I wanted to blend in and know what they was talking about.
Wow.
But anyway, that night as the show went on, the crowd was with me. So after that, I was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But that first show, I was nervous. You had to be me.
Yeah.
I ain't even want to go out there.
Dang.
What about you? Huge difference, big difference between the beginning and now?
You know what? I think my approach has always been the same. Like, if it's a big show,
You know what though? So funny. Hold up. I remember this dude. I remember this Virginia Union, the Erasmus. I think Funk ain't show up like back then. He was a misaligned.
Something like that?
Hey, him and white boy used to pass the microphone like a hypothetical. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I remember shows getting canceled because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Shows
When
got
Funk
canceled, but go ahead back to him.
That's right.
Before we start
Before it's nervous. Before it's nervous.
He was a hell of a say what behind you type.
What'd you call it, Mickey? A say what behind you?
Say what behind you, shit like that.
I never considered myself a one. Like, the only reason I ended up being a one is because rapper left. And I just felt like I ain't never trusted nobody else again. And so that's the only reason. But when I still get, I'm like Mickey, I still get nervous, especially like when we do big productions, like my 30th or the thing we did with Kim on her 20th, Go Live. Anytime it's a production, it's a good nervous. Like I just be worried that everything ain't gonna go right. The night we played with Ray Essence, and when we bust your ass, I was worried. I mean, just you want the production to go right, because I always got some kind of tricks going on or something. And so that's the only time I'm gonna get nervous. I love big crowds. I just love it. Like, I think that's what it's all about.
It kills me financially because we might be looking over here counting a whole pile of money, and then at the end of the night, all of it's gone, and he be like, "Man, what happened to the money? Man, I ain't doing this shit no more, man." I'm like, "You the one wanted the stage. You wanted 9 squares on top of the stage at the Howard Theater.
Hollywood Squares.
You want this? You want to bring dancers in? I mean, 3,000, 7,000, 9,000. Where do you think the money going? You know what I mean? But the time that this guy put in, I mean, we might be in Vegas, and he like, yeah, that right there, I want that to be a part of the show. I'm like, well, where you gonna find it at? And he be trying to explain to me. I just be like, man, just go get it.
That is where I stole that Hollywood Squares from when we was in Vegas.
Yeah.
That is where I stole that from. Blue Man.
Blue Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Huge difference for you, Steve. You said you kind of just stumbled on it. Is it a huge difference now that you go in, you prepare for the show? I mean, this is what you're doing in. Is it a huge difference?
Yeah, it's a big difference. Because I'm like Donnell, just let me stand over here and sing a little bit, you know, when I first started. But then when I learned like that a lot of people in this don't like it like I do, but don't love it like I do, and I started to see it, you know, and then I'm like, damn, man. And then also, just like people don't know, they think that I just started talking to Donnell Jihad this year, last year, and they kind of stayed in my ear, like, Slim, you got to slow down what you're doing. So, and they would, you know, I knew it at the same time, but I take it serious now. Like, it's been a while where I just didn't take it serious. I was just like, let me jump on the stage, do what I'm going to do. Like Mick said, let me get fried and go away. But now, though, like in the past year, 2 years, I love it. And I realize that if I love it, if I'm treating it like it's a joke, then do I really love it? Or am I just like, man, yeah, whatever, these jokers came out, played their money? Nah. So now, it's a big difference. Like, you might catch me in the bathroom. If you come in here, I'm running in place. You're like, what are you doing, man? I'm doing jumping jacks, man. I'm about to go sing. I'm opening up. Like, I'm getting ready.
That shit at his party.
Yeah, in the back. Yeah, I'm doing push-ups, I'm running. But I do that before every single
from
show.
wall to wall back there.
Before every single show I do it. Yeah. But yeah, and it's just a big difference. But like Donnell said, but now I'm, like, when we have a show and it's a bigger crowd, and he'll tell you, I'll be like, man, let's go, man. Let's get this. I'm ready. There's no nervousness then. I'm ready to get it.
Biggest go-go crowd I've ever seen, not personally, but documented, is this Go-Go Live. I know you said you started a little later, but was you there at Go-Go Live?
Yeah. I think the first major joint I went to, was at the Cap Center. I still have pictures. I was a young Bama. What's the dudes that sing? You down with OPP? Naughty by Nature was there. RE was there with they came out with the Work the Wall joint with the army outfits. People getting knocked out in the hallway. I'm a young dude. But to me, like, all the rap dudes was great. Black Sheep, I think, was there. I can't even remember everybody that was there, but when RE came out there, amazing. Crazy. The Go-Go Live I've only seen on recording. Yeah. Them in that arena with, and like I said, you that Naughty by Nature. I mean, people partied, but when RE came out, that's where the party was. So that, to me, like, was my biggest moment. That Go-Go Live was just all on tape. Wish I could have been there. You know, I ain't seen the energy like that since then.
Was you there, John?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just.
What type of guy was you at that time? Was you a young dude? You was in school? You was a street guy? You was music? Where was you at mentally and personally? And then describe that night.
Actually, I was in the military, and I was back from Germany, and just hanging out with some of my friends, and I was getting ready to go to North Carolina, I remember, and then I started talking to Bear because they were going to do a tour. They was getting ready to do a tour, and I was just connected to a lot of the colleges in the South.